Back. We are in the Project Management Quick Start Guide and using the Project Management Workbook. This is the source for the file that we are going to be using. The link is also on the description of this video on the website. We just finished filling out the risk and issue log, and in preparation for this week's meeting with our project sponsors, Maria and Roberto. So we have completed that, and we are about to complete the change request log. So let me go to the change request page. And this page is used to, I haven't used it that extensively on projects, but if you have a larger team, it is used more extensively. But it is just what it sounds like to capture, the major project changes, and that's up to your discretion. I'm sure there's more rules around what that entails, but usually what I put in here are key things that somebody asked to change that need the approval of several people, or several people need to be on board. So, let's say they need approval, or maybe you need consensus. And those are the two things that, let me just, oops. Those are the two things that is a trigger for me to add that here. So let's say change request was submitted, and sometimes change requests are formal. There's an actual form somebody fills out and they submit it. One thing that would definitely count as a change request, let's say the date to extend to get everyone hired. Before we talked about the project plan, and that date is 7/18, and the HR manager requested a 1-week extension on hiring. So the owner for this is the, let's say it's the, I'll say it's the HR manager for now. And it's in progress. And the work stream, we could say HR, wave or phase. If there's several, let's say this project is large, there may be several waves of activity or phases of activity. So that's where this may be used. So this is not always used. If it's a large project over an extensive period of time, you might want to put that there. You want to mark, the priority, cost impact, and schedule impact of this change. Is it going to have a schedule impact? You would look at, hey, if we don't hire everybody, if we hire everybody, we don't have to open till the end of the year. We have ample time to train them, so it has low schedule impact. And I'll just leave, cost impact, it has none, and priority, actually, I'll put it as a medium, because right now hiring is, we, even though we have a good amount of time, it's high on the list. So, proposed actions are, just request extension from the project sponsors, and the project sponsor is probably going to turn around and ask the project manager, can we, you're the one looking at the schedule, can we wait a week? Is that okay? And you're probably the one that's going to advise on what decision to make. But in the end, since you're moving a milestone, that's something that you would escalate, which means you would bring it to senior management for some type of approval. just mentioning it to them and saying yes or no, can we change this, because it is changing a milestone. And then, if they say it's okay, then you enter that in this summary. But until, that conversation happens, this, let's say this conversation triggers a meeting has to be scheduled with the project manager, the HR manager, and the the owners of the project, which are Maria and Roberto. You would go to the action item log and you would write, I need to set up a meeting with these people to address this issue. So that's how they're connected, and that's how some of the this is probably the first project where it affects something in another worksheet. I mean, the first example where it affects something in another worksheet. So this is the change request log, and we'll actually go do that now. We'll jump into the action item log. Right now we're supposed to create a calendar of meetings, but we're going to set up a meeting to discuss change log item 1. So instead of rewriting everything, I'm just going to put, change log item 1 because we have all that information there. I'm going to put this as open because I have not scheduled it yet, and then I'll fill out the remainder of the information. So this list, is keeping me on track, and then also I've tracked the requested change in the change request log. So this is an example of how and when to use the change request log. Next, we will focus on the meeting schedule. See you in the next video.